Hi, everyone. So, we are going to talk about mindfulness practice today. So, you're probably aware that mindfulness practice has sort of become the it thing to do recently, right? We read a lot about it, we hear a lot about it, but maybe you're wondering why. What are the benefits of practicing mindfulness? So I want to share a few of those with you today, in the hopes that you'll, go ahead and start your own mindfulness practice, or maybe one with your kids or your students at school. So remember, mindfulness is when we are being proactive and we're training our brain to respond in a certain way. So, if you know anything about the brain, you know that the amygdala is the part of the brain that is responsible for letting us know if there is danger or a threat. So, sometimes we refer to the amygdala as the brain's smoke alarm. So it's sort of scanning all of the input that we're taking in, the sensory input, and it's deciding if there is some sort of danger. And then if there is, it's doing its job to let us know, hey, you're in danger. Your body, your brain maybe needs to move into um, flight or fight mode. So at my house, when I turn the oven on above 450 degrees, it never fails. My smoke alarms go off in my house. It doesn't mean that there's a fire. In fact, there's never been a fire when the smoke alarms go off. It is just too sensitive. And what we know about our amygdalas and our brains is that the same thing is happening because of the society that we live in, where we're so busy and we're stressed out and we're overextended, we know that there have actually been changes in our brains, and the same thing is happening. Our amygdala, our smoke alarm, is becoming too sensitive. It's going off and telling us there's danger when there really isn't. So, an example of this, if you are a teacher, a parent, maybe you've experienced this, where we have something happen and it's down here, and our kids or our students react, and their reaction is way up here. And you may even say, I say this to my kids, okay, that was kind of down here as far as like a stressor, but you responded way up here. There is a big difference between the two. Why did we respond up here? Well, oftentimes it's because their amygdala has sensed a threat or sensed danger and is telling them to respond in this big way. And so they do. Maybe it's remembering sensory input from the past, and so it's responding in a certain way. There are lots of reasons this could be happening. But what we need to do is basically retrain our brain to respond appropriately and to not misfire. So, what we know from lots and lots of research that's been done on the brain and on mindfulness is that even just 5 minutes of daily mindfulness practice can start to rewire the neural pathways in our brain and help our brain to start responding in a more appropriate manner and not be so reactive. Instead, we want our brain to be more reflective so that when it's taking in that input, it's actually taking a minute to say, is this really a danger? Is this really a stressful event or thing that we need to respond to in this really big way? And sometimes our brain then will have time to realize, no, it's not. We need to just keep ourselves calm, our body, our brain calm. We need to reflect on what's happening so that we can respond appropriately. That is the main purpose of mindfulness. Those are the benefits that you're going to get to your brain by practicing mindfulness. So you can see why this might be really popular, especially in classrooms, to take 5 minutes a day to do mindfulness, whether that's deep breathing or mindful noticing, mindful listening. Oh gosh, the list goes on and on and on. Even just quiet journaling, putting heads down and listening to music and just relaxing for a couple of minutes. All of those are different mindfulness strategies that we can use. And you can probably make the connection between, gosh, doing that for 5 minutes and helping our kids to respond more reflectively to situations rather than reactively. So hopefully, have learned something new today, and hopefully, I've given you some information that will help you, decide to make mindfulness practice something that you're going to do each day. So if you do, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear some of your strategies that you're using. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you next time.